Hi. I wanted to record a relatively quick reading on Lily and Jack Sullivan that have been missing. Um, and I've just asked, to myself, if they have been, if they'll be found, what happened. And these were the cards I got. So, first card I get is the Devil and the Five of Cups. And unfortunately, we're looking at a criminal matter. This is where vice and someone's bad habits are in control of themselves. When you give over your power to a vice, you are allowing the devil, if you will, so to speak, that vice to be the thing that controls you. And just like your bad habits end up having more control over you. And that's why self moderation is really important. Um, so right away, we're looking at something that's criminal. There's corruption. This is an abuse of power. And we have two people. Okay, make note of this. And two people that look like they have trouble uh, w- with issues with probably addiction, especially, is often connected to this card, as well as being overly overbearing and over controlling and out of your head. We get the Hierophant and we get the Knight of Cups. I don't know. This is some sort of an offer where religion or traditional beliefs are concerned. I don't know if they've had support from a church or something like that, maybe, or some sort of activity where they're using religion to cover for themselves. You see, we get that in the first card we draw. It just looks inauthentic, this spiritual positioning with the Hierophant. When you've got someone that's really sick and really allowing shadow to control, to take the controls. So keep this in mind, all right? We get the Ace of Swords. Something is going to come that brings definitive clarity. And we get the Tower. It's a Tower event that is yet to come. Um, and it has to do with the two, happens to be male and female. And on the Devil card, the first that came out was male and female. Now, I think this is the parents, and I think, in all honesty, the children as well. I think the children did not have a chance because addictions ran the decision making. Something unexpected. I don't know that this was anything necessarily planned, but maybe not in the long term. I don't know. Not, anyways, neither here. So let's let that be for now. Something here definitely ends up happening to two. I think you've got to pay attention to the symbols that you see recurring in the cards as well, in my opinion. Um, and it could have, in this case, with the tower, it can deal with high places. And sometimes it means people that have lived lives that are based upon vice. They they end up having a downfall. There's a collapse because what they're basing things on won't withstand because it's not authentic. It's not truth. It's built upon vice. It won't stand. It cannot withstand because it's not the truth. And I think it's possible that with these cards that have come, um, that these children could end up being found. It's possible height height, maybe, could play a part in this. That's just a possibility, not necessarily. But one thing's for sure, it's unexpected, it's shocking, um, unanticipated, and it will bring clarity, I think, where what happened to these children is concerned. It's not good because Vice was running the controls in that house. That's the first thing we're shown. And we get the lovers. We're shown again a couple, male, female. Once again, a repetition. And in this case, when I get this as often is about a couple that's involved in a crime. Uh, Either good friends or romantic partnership here. And the fact that we already got the Hierophant earlier, that's can also be symbol of marriage, married couple, in some cases in the tarot. So there's some hints in there. And this is the I want to, have it my way card with the wish come true card, the Nine of Cups. It's also very indulgent card. Um, and there is some sort of restriction on that, a feeling of being restrained or trapped. So we're being shown, I think, a couple that feels their responsibility as parents um, have them feeling stuck and something happens. I also think that they were generally neglectful and from what I get from these cards and from looking at the pictures of these kids just one time, I've kind of avoided this case on purpose because it's just too heartbreaking. I think these kids were really, really neglected. I haven't read any articles about this case. Um, eh, anyway, then we get the Ten of Swords. I think there's and being left and abandoned with the Eight of Cups. I had a subscriber ask me if Bear comes around very often when I'm reading. She's just done so. Um, so I think they've been left outside. There's neglect. To me, this is a painful ending, and there's a release, though. Um, but I think they're going to find them outside somewhere in a natural setting. In all likelihood, it's just something I was getting before she jumped down off the bed. Hmm. Abandonment, neglect, walking away, and just there's just a cruelty here that's an overkill as well. It's intense and it's dramatic. Um, this is also, I think, them trying to claim that these kids just walked away on their own. They did not, by the way. They did not. These children did not walk away on their own. Something happened to them by parents that wanted to be able to indulge more freely in their vices. We get, holding as well, looking at wanting to get away with something. I feel like wanting to try and now plan things. There's more of a show some sort of an effort, but this could also be the effort to find them and identify them, because this is also about identifying someone, that there is a breakthrough in a challenge. But this is also being very careful and things adding up. And then with this card, like there's some kind of a successful breakthrough. I think with their case, there is some sort of arguing here going on. It can be an assault as well. I think this is what happened to the kids. I think you have physical assault of, unfortunately, and neglect. And you get this acceleration of violence here with this Eight of Wands next to the combative and assaulting type of card of the five. So there's violence. I'm getting some level of high level of violence with the overkill as well. I'm getting a King of Cups. Typically, the King of Cups is somebody that likes to party, likes to drink, or can have problems or issues with substance. Paired with a Queen. So I'm getting a message from these cards of a couple, of adults, male and female, could have drinking and uh, substance issues and other stuff kind of connected in there. They they let shadow rule them. They've been taken over by their bad habits. That's what, and then we get the card of extended family, the family line, inheritance, extended family with the and the two tens. Again, this is two tens. This is endings. There's a lot of endings here with 10 of wands earlier. I feel like the ending of their lives, and their children's lives. A couple, once again, two children. I think it is connected to family. It's not a stranger. We get this is within the family. And I'm looking at, again, man and a woman. That keeps coming up. Ace of Pentacles, some maybe kind of small lead or item, and it could be something to do with a child or what maybe one of their items. I feel like there is looking in at physical items in connection to a child and the start of that, or something that could be found. There's the Four of Pentacles. Someone's trying to control this and keep people from being able to, I think, discover, trying to control everything. And there's a King of Pentacles. Money might be also part of someone's concern. And but definitely they want to have control over their environment, this man, with that Four. And here's another Four. This is the Four of Swords. This can be entombment. This can be burial. It can also be an illness where one has to have prolonged care. Takes them longer to get better. But it's pulling back. And look, I don't like this. There's the card of the child, again, with the Fool. And maybe the kid's not being aware. And again, an emphasis on height of a cliff or ledge. That's something they should look into. And maybe they should bring dogs in as well, if they already haven't, or they should keep doing it and go around places where there might be a view or a cliff or some sort of, I don't know, more of a natural area. I think that is where their bodies are. Another Four. There's just don't believe these children sadly are here with us. We see also a card of disconnection, and where concern is more upon, I think, substance and getting one's emotional needs met. That is where the like tunnel vision. You don't notice, yeah, and it is reactionary as well here, very reactionary with the Knight of Swords, and not caring because one is focused on what their desire to party typically with the Three of Cups. It's a Four of Cups looking at the Three of Cups, and it doesn't feel like it's connecting to the fun. You ever notice that? We get a King of Swords, could be law enforcement or a man that brings clarity, pursuing something with either a vehicle or travel or just making progress. There is looking for a certain place, making choices there. Also, emphasis on two, perhaps the two children and the location of where they would each be. Are they together? Are they separate? Are they near each other or near-ish? There's just a tremendous amount of also overextended violence and being overwhelmed. These kids, they couldn't stand up to this. We get manipulation, and especially with communication, what's said, what is shown. An active manipulator there who loves control, like I was saying before. And oddly enough, the devil loves you being, so to speak, out of control. Vices make you out of control, and you being out of control is what's in control, so to speak, of you when you are not moderating yourself. We're seeing a lot of worry, lack of sleep. I think pressure's coming down on the parents here. And there's something new that, again, something new that starts to heat up. And I think that they're worried about them finding this. There's this saying, more than one person involved, and it's paired with the father figure. There could be up to 3 people. So it could be him, his wife, and maybe someone else, but it's not just him alone. He's had help. You have a father figure, husband, father figure that has assistance. There's death and judgment. And I think he's going to be looked at with guilt and held to account for their deaths, honestly. I think their graves may end up being found or wherever their bodies might be. I think that could be coming, or maybe some sort of evidence leading to them. There are a lot of secrets, right? A lot of things that are not made plain that exist. And there's acts, we just need to kind of pull the veil aside and look a little deeper. Because the shadow I'm getting was ruling this household. Sinister energy when you allow the devil card, the card of chaos and addiction, to rule your life. Just not going to have anything good come from it. Now we're getting also the mother knows stuff here. So there's issues around the death that the mother knows that she's not sharing. She's part and parcel of it. I'm getting both the parents and cards that show what I don't like to see when I see guilty parents involved in a crime where children are concerned. Yes, I'm getting those cards, but this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. I may not have everything right. Okay. We're getting the Two of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So there is instability and juggling. I think also the children that moving them around. I think they've been moved or there's some sort of juggling. But I think it has to deal with land, with these two pentacle cards of maybe where they are. There might have been some sort of change or juggling that was done, maybe in the way that that they will be found or the environment that the ground. This is someone trying to get away with things that taking these kids out of this world, and I think they're further away um, from their initial area. They've been taken maybe even quite possibly out of the county line or some sort of borderline, so to speak. Um, there's just sneaking off to take them someplace further out of the way that I don't like here. And I feel like these kids have transitioned. I do. There's a betrayal again with the three. And I think that's the primarily I'm being shown the husband and the wife and these two kids. There's betrayal. And I see action. There's anger around this and heartbreak. And I think it's also going to be heartbreak of people finding out what happened. Um, again, I think this is the brother and the sister. Uh, I believe it's just a delay until that there is a delay until they are found. But I do think Spirit is going to help them to be found. Not that Spirit doesn't help everyone, but I think this case somehow will work out that way. There is something that is coming here. And I think it's also a nod toward the parents as well, the Two of Cups as well being involved, and it's just a delay maybe in going for them. Um, again, there's perhaps the drug use here, the delusional ideas, and I don't know, things to do with money or work or things that you're offering over and over as proof. I don't know, but there's could be repetitious, effort, but there's fantasy around it and possibly substance. So I think there's people going to be also trying to figure out and be open to other ideas, but working very hard on this case. That also. A Queen of Swords who ends up coming to a point where a choice needs to be made, but there's a block here, or she's trying to block something. A feminine energy. It might be calling them out. We have the card of the bully and the card of controlling other people in this case, and the need for self-moderation of the bully behavior, forcing others physically, especially raw, very ugly anger, very primitive lack of self-control. The children, one's own children, here with the Six of Cups and the past and the moon. They are hiding, concealing, there's a cover up. And they haven't quite found him yet, but we do have justice and we do have the Wheel of Fortune. We have fate coming in and the law, and there is going to be a shift and a change. There's going to be active movement. The home, family home, quite possibly, and outside of it, being outside, not being well taken care of, not being allowed in, or just not being treated well, um, poor living circumstances within the home. And we get the hermit, I feel like there is help. There's people trying to look more deeply into this matter. That is for certain. But I think that there's advice. Someone's trying to advise them. I don't know. Maybe that's someone that of the spiritual. Uh, it can also be the help being offered by other psychics and things like that. Just an energy that I got there with the light, the lantern, light worker came to mind. And here's that party. I want a party. This is what they want. We keep getting that Three of Cups. This is, that what's eluding them because the kids are in the way, in my opinion, with this couple. I don't even know who they are. I don't like saying that, but again, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only with the tarot cards. And we have the Three of Wands here. It's just a matter of time and things. We got two threes again coming together that show that they were looking forward to trying to party. This is the I think motive. And again, there is another accent on a place with a view, a height, looking down at water, um, maybe a party place where people go park and use along a waterway. Queen of Wands and the world. There could be a woman that brings this to a complete close. Maybe she's going to be somebody that comes across uh, something that leads to the completion, the final finding them. There's the Page of Swords. This could be one of the children, quite possibly, also sighting, viewing, watching, looking. We do get a queen, another feminine energy of pentacles, mother, maternal energy, and another childlike energy here too with the Page of Cups. The Page of Pentacles can be Mother Nature, the woods. I feel like, we're being shown two children, Page of Swords and Page of Cups, Page of Wands, and action being taken finally that starts to bring balance to the extremes that these children went through. There's going to this case will come to a conclusion. It's meant to. There's Seven of Wands, a King of Wands, someone that's fighting in defense, and I think it's for the kids. Yeah, there's, I think, clarity being exposing abuse with the Nine of Wands, quite possible head injuries and upper body, especially, is accented with the Nine of Wands. It would also accent verbal abuse, neglect, and of course, with the child here also on the Sun card. And very quickly, then there's a lot of emotion wrapped up around this. And I see, particularly by individuals that want to fund or help these children be found. There could be people that have money that are getting back behind this. I don't know if that's out there or not, but we're seeing people really bring this case into the spotlight, and that's good. There's also going to be an incredible reaction, I think, around um, when I do think they find something of significance. I definitely think that they are going to find answers, if not the children, from the looks of that. So let me just try another deck really quickly to kind of try and confirm here, and I'll just shuffle it while I'm talking to you. Our Lily, let me just ask and see what this card deck is going to provide. It's kind of an odd deck to use, but sometimes it's a good reason to try it. Are they going to be found? Are Lily and Jack Sullivan going to be found? and the answers needed about their disappearance, will those puzzle pieces come into place? Lily and Jack Sullivan, where will they be located? I get home gym. I get fitness, health, active, treat your body with care, make healthy lifestyle choices. And this is at home. And we're getting a message about healthy lifestyle choices here. That's kind of interesting. And then I get drier, repeating cycles. There's a return, develop positive habits to introduce new patterns into your reality. So it looks to me, an issue with health and needing to have a healthy lifestyle cycle. I don't know, more people coming out like child protective services of some kind. There's definitely cyclical problems within the home, and it has to do with mental health, physical health. I think just in general, how you take care of yourself and others. That's gone on over and over, it looks like, from home gym and dryer. I know, isn't that crazy? But there you go. And we get house, security, stability, shelter, the family, home. Focus on nurturing stability and change whatever does not. So this is about the family. Home again is accented, and family, we get microwave, fast, soon, quick results, make the most of your momentum. Something very quick, maybe that happened, I don't know, maybe within the family home. Dining room is gathering, connecting. It's all coming together. What you want wants you. I think pieces of the puzzle are going to start coming together. I am cautiously optimistic. And picture frames, memories, the past, history. We just had the memories with the Six of Cups card, and it was also the children. And this is also about family as well. We get fireplace, rebirth, creation, passion, a renewal to occur. For a renewal to occur in your life, something must come to an end. Oh, wow. So this is a purge. This is going to be a fire on the part of, I think, the parents. This is going to come back and burn them for what they've done. And I've got safe and the secrets. Remember how I said the secrets with the high priestess? Right here it says safe. There's secrets that are yet not opened up. They're still locked and guarded, and they're trying to keep the secrets in place, but I think with the heat of the fireplace, I think that's going to be difficult. Blender, chaos, disruption, messy. A change is coming. It can be sudden and disruptive. We had the tower for the kids. Tea set, gossip, reputation, and talk. Um, People talking about them after some sort of incident here. With what's happened. So I get bathtub, recharge, cleanse, and your soul and clear your mind. I hope that somebody can get them to confess, maybe if there's been something that happened. Bedroom, intimacy, desire, seduction. Reconnect with your deepest desires and set your soul on fire. Banquet, gift, invitation, joy, beauty. There's something of enlightenment coming. And phone, to do with phone messages, communication. And it could be an abundance, in my opinion, of significant evidence. Front door, new phase. And there's something new that's going to, again, that new things opening up and happening. And knife, betrayal. We had the Three of Swords, heartbreak, pain. Trust that these dark times will bring you to the brightest places. So these children have transitioned on to the light, I feel like, but the parents have yet to face responsibility. So again, with the knife and the front door, a new opportunity through betrayal to, I feel like, be able to have that party pleasure seeking, where they don't have to take care of two small children. And that's really what the deal was. I'm getting office rooms, so there's a focus on them, and it looks like maybe, I don't know, it could be computers that they look at, you know, any kind of electronics, things to do with if he ever worked. I'll be having to look at all of that after I give this reading. What did I say about the computer? Here, I pull the computer card. I tell you, this happens to me a lot when I'm reading. Um, and it's online, linked, networking, reconnect openly with others. This is communication. Like I said, the devices, electronic devices, and remain open to possibilities. I think the families, if they haven't already, these devices and things will be looked at, and there's something significant. We do get boundaries, guarded, distant, that are hindering the pursuit. There's a fence. It's like you can only go so far. But we're getting some sort of loyalty here. We get pet, and that's usually to do with support and loyalty or family or friend, and somebody that's trying to build connection. It could be somebody that's family or friends to them that talks. Um, And then we get a card that deals with children, the nursery room, children, play, fun, birth, uh, and teaching children to adapt to navigate adult changes. So, what you teach your children, how you treat your children, the lifestyle that they were providing for them is looked at. Broom, cleanup, clearing, fixing, clearing away obstacles. Did they clean up the environment? Television, entertainment, pastime, something maybe about a TV, and hammer. I don't like that. This is authority. This is that harsh energy with the wands. Rebuild, power. It's the wand Mars type of energy. Assault. Five of Wands. Take the initiative to straighten out your situation or resolve it. I think he there's someone thinking that they're going to get away with this. And I think it has to do with the parents. Um, I'm looking at the father, number one, and then the mother. Um, more than one involved. There could be even just one more other person, like a friend, that could have helped them. That might end up talking. We're getting mirror, and there's going to be something that's triggering or that will mirror something, maybe something that was done to them, they're going to have done. Um, there's a reflection from the inside out hit that I'm getting off of this. Situations are revealing parts of you that still need acceptance. So I think the abuse of these children was something they picked up on, not to make excuses, and furthered rather than changed, um, with their own children, something they had happen, and they further enacted upon their own children, I think, with and then some. I feel like with the lamp that this is going to be more clarity and puzzle pieces coming in to be it fall into place. It says you will soon find clarity on what is currently puzzling you. So yeah. And I get trash can. They discarded them. Refuse waste. Maybe they should look also in landfills and maybe places where people would dump things. And it could be where people go and party as well, because I remember those other cards we got before. Look where people go party and do things that they don't want other people seeing them do. They may have been left in a place like that. We get minibar, escape, excess, dependency. See, so I think this is really coming down to the issues of addiction and unwanted children, but the parents are just so messed up that they won't give these children over to people that would take care of them or something. Toaster, pop up, sudden, emerging. Get ready for surprises. And we get fan. There's a need to keep calm and breathe and be willing to adjust. And we're dealing with issues within the parents wanting independence, wanting to be free, have freedom. And they're wanting to treat these children like they were feral or something, like feral cats or something. I keep getting something about these kids just not being treated more like pets than children and not even well at that. So I think that they are going to end up being found. And we'll just leave this right there. If you appreciate readings like this, please give me a thumbs up. I think those parents are going to be in trouble.